Well, as usual, I was listening to a podcast this weekend while I was going on my trek around outside and going on the trail behind our house and all that stuff. And I was listening to a really old podcast. I think it was from 2016. It was on Tim Ferriss's show, and he had Malcolm Gladwell, which was a really interesting conversation. I don't think I'd ever heard Malcolm Gladwell talk in such a long format. And he talked lots about lots of different things and very interesting. But one thing he brought up that kind of got me thinking about doing this video was about his dad and I guess his mom too, but he really kind of focused on his dad. And his dad, I believe, is a PhD in mathematics or a mathematician. And he said something interesting, which was he learned to ask questions from his dad because his dad constantly would ask questions. He had no ego when it came to his intellect. And what he means by that is that his dad would just kind of ask questions until he actually understood. So he'd say, explain that part again, make me understand this part. How does this part work? What, really opening the hood up and trying to understand something when somebody was presenting something to him. And he said he really never felt like he had to worry about his dad because his dad would ask enough questions that if the person was presenting something bad, they would probably just walk away in irritation. Or, that his dad was never going to make a decision that he didn't truly understand and completely agree with because he asked a lot of questions. And this got me thinking that a lot of times prospects don't ask questions. And I'm kind of surprised if you're engaging in somebody to help you with your financial future, whether that's a coach, an advisor, investment manager, anybody who's helping you with your financial future. I'm always kind of shocked at how few questions I get asked. I do a little spiel at the beginning of any prospect meeting, explaining who I am, what I do, how I work with clients, that kind of thing. But I keep it pretty short. It's usually, less than 5 minutes, probably more like 2 to 3 minutes, because I like spending the time listening to the client and hearing what they have to say and what they're trying to accomplish. But I am kind of surprised at how few questions I get asked. And so I thought I'd take a couple of minutes to explain what questions you should be asking. And these are just a couple. You should ask whatever makes you feel comfortable. But I don't want people not asking questions because they either are afraid of looking stupid for whatever reason, or B, that they are afraid that they're going to insult somebody. If I'm that easily insulted by you asking questions that are going to be very important in your financial future, then I should not be your advisor, probably, right? So here's some questions I would ask if I was interviewing a financial advisor. One is, what are your core values? What's your mission statement for your business? Where do you see your business going? Who's your typical client? How do you work with your clients? How often should I expect to hear from you? Are those personalized or are those kind of more generic emails I would be getting? Do you do financial education? Do you do webinars on a regular basis for your clients? What's the client journey look like as a whole? Also, you should ask about investment strategies. Do you have one kind of blanket way you invest for everybody, or do you do kind of more personalized investing for people that fit with their goals? Do you do indexing? Do you tend to be more of an active manager, somewhere in between? Do you have favorite fund families that you work with, such as American funds or dimensional funds or something like that? And why do you tend to lean towards those funds? How often do you look at my portfolio? How often should I expect to see changes? Do you make investment changes while talking to me, or do you make them on my behalf based off of what we have decided in the past of what my risk is, what my goals are, what we're trying to accomplish with this account? What kind of fees should I be expecting? What are your fees? What are other fees that we should be expecting? What are training costs? What platforms do you use? lots of different questions that are very pertinent. Now, you do have to ask all of them, no, because that might be a really, really long meeting. But I don't think that people ask enough questions. And I don't take that lightly because I think questions get you more information, and more information allows you to be more comfortable with your decisions. It also gives you a chance to see how the person, the professional that you're interviewing, reacts to this stuff. Do they get defensive? Are they open? Do they seem to get nervous when they're asked these questions? That kind of thing. You're interviewing them. Remember, they're interviewing you too. I mean, I interview prospects and decide if I think they're a good fit for the practice or not. But you're interviewing them. And so you need to see how they're going to react under pressure a little bit, because you have every right to ask questions. And so essentially, I think asking questions is a really good thing. And I don't think we do it enough in our profession. We don't get asked very many questions by people. And we don't necessarily, professionals don't always ask enough questions to get to the true root of things. So questions should be used often in this world. And we're always happy here at One Vision to answer any questions you guys have. So give us a call, and if you have some questions, we're happy to answer them. Of course, pertaining that we have enough information. We don't just give blanket answers to things. We want to make sure we understand what the question is, what the circumstances are, that kind of thing. I could go into a whole other thing about that, but that will be another video. So give us a call if we can help. One Vision Retirement, your retirement in 2020 vision.